Good morning. Welcome to day 4 of Daily Habit. Today we'll be reading from the same author, page 78. The heading of this is The Power of Holy Moments. It's a beautiful morning here today. It's starting out, I think, around 60 degrees and probably getting up to almost 90. But this time of year, early fall, it's kind of like we say late summer, early fall, because technically fall begins on the 21st of September. So it's beautiful in the morning. It's nice, cool air, kind of like its own natural air conditioning with the windows open. So let's get started. Again, this is page 78. It's called The Power of Holy Moments. I have used the word flourish several times throughout this book. It means vigorous growth and development. The dictionary meaning is helpful, but like many things, we know it when we see it. There is a plant here on my desk. Its broad leaves are green, rich with nutrients, and they glimmer in the sun. It is flourishing. I can tell just by looking at it. It is bursting with life. My children are in the yard playing. I can hear their squeals of delight and feel their energy as I sit here writing. They are bursting with life. They are flourishing. Plants and children do it effortlessly. Their natural instincts lead them to flourish. We adults need to relearn the art of flourishing. Holy moments will teach us if we allow them to. There is so much we have yet to learn about ourselves. The power you possess to create holy moments is a perfect example. We have all heard phrases like ripple effect, domino effect, butterfly effect, snowball effect, and compounding effect. Each of these phenomena are astoundingly powerful, and yet take them all, multiply them by infinity, and you will still have barely a glimpse of the power contained in each holy moment. One day, when God invites us into his library to read his history books, we will see that it is so. On that day, we will discover that seemingly insignificant acts, the smallest acts of kindness, unnoticed acts of generosity, set in motion a series of events that altered the whole course of human history. The ripple effect begins with a single ripple, the domino effect with a single domino, and so on. But we have been seduced by the spectacular, so we dismiss small as insignificant. Holy moments are usually small and simple. This is why we dismiss the idea that they could transform our lives and change the world. We have a bias against things that are simple, even though there is genius in simplicity. We have a bias against small, thinking that bigger is always better. As a result, when life occurs, it offers us a choice. These biases often lead us to make poor decisions. Let this example illustrate the point. Suppose someone offered you the choice between $1 million today or a single penny that doubled every day for 31 days. Which would you choose? Most people, minds go instantly towards the $1 million. But if you picked the penny that doubled every day for 31 days, you'd have over $10 million. $737,418.24 to be exact. It's a fun illustration. But the consequences of this compounding effect, when applied to holy moments, are even more profound and far-reaching. So much so that there is no place in the world, no situation in society, no part of our lives that holy moments cannot reach and transform. The butterfly effect suggests that every action, no matter how small, has an effect on the world around it. It is a scientific theory that has been explained with the idea that a butterfly flapping its wings in your neighborhood could cause a typhoon on the other side of the world. Now, we know that a single act like a butterfly flapping its wings cannot directly cause a typhoon. Small acts can, however, be the catalyst that sets in motion a chain reaction that leads to enormous outcomes. This theory may seem abstract, but we experience the butterfly effect in human behavior all the time. Let's explore a practical example. Bruce Dunn lost his wallet. A 13-year-old girl named Amanda found it and returned it. Bruce took two $100 bills from his wallet and handed them to Amanda with the instructions: spend one on yourself and spend the other on someone else. He didn't think much about it until 4 months later when someone sent him a picture they saw online. The people in the picture were holding up signs that said, "Thank you, Bruce Dunn." Bruce was stunned. It was a group of people in Honduras. Amanda had an assignment at school to study life in a poorer country, and she had chosen Honduras. Around the time when Bruce gave her the money, there had been a hurricane there. So Amanda picked a village on the map, contacted a local church in that village. She told them the story and arranged to send the money. With $100, they were able to host a party for the whole village. The photo was the village saying thank you. "What do you call that?" I asked Bruce when he told me the story. "I don't know," he said, "but I have done it a few times now and I'm always amazed at what happens." "I call that a holy moment grant," I said. He smiled. Since hearing his story, I have made a couple of holy moment grants myself. Each one has a story, and it's fun to watch them unfold. Every holy moment increases the goodness and the goodwill in the world. What is goodwill? Goodwill is a friendly, cooperative, and helpful attitude. Goodwill can make the whole difference in a relationship. A relationship guided by an attitude that is friendly, cooperative, and helpful is radically different to a relationship tormented by the opposite. And the whole world is a collection of relationships. One relationship multiplying the next. One relationship compounding upon another. You are walking through the grocery store and someone smiles at you. A burst of joy goes through you. You smile back and you begin to glow. Your response may feel even involuntary, and that's because it's so natural. We do it without reflection, instruction, or conscious thought, because it is who we are when we are at our best. The other person's smile tapped into the goodness and joy that was already within you. Smiling at someone is a holy moment. Smiling is contagious. Holy moments are contagious. Every holy moment inspires another one. The butterfly effect of even the smallest holy moments are astounding. Every collaboration with God yields unimaginable fruit. Moses liberated the Israelites in collaboration with God. Mary gave birth to Jesus by collaborating with God. The boy with 5 loaves and 2 fish fed thousands of people in collaboration with God. You too can collaborate with God. And by collaborating with God to create one holy moment today, you never know who will be touched by the chain reaction you set off. It is impossible to predict where these holy moments will lead, but they will lead somewhere. Holy moments never die. Every expression of goodness lives on forever. It finds a way to live on in other people, in other places, and in other times. That is how imperfect people collaborate with God to remake the world. Here, is a short fable that illustrates the point. A British family went to Scotland one summer for a vacation. The mother and father were looking forward to enjoying the beautiful Scottish countryside with their son. But one day, the son wandered off by himself and got into trouble. As he walked through the woods, he came to an abandoned swimming hole, and as most boys his age do, he took off his clothes and jumped in. He was totally unprepared for what happened next. Before he had time to enjoy the pool of water, he was seized by a vicious attack of cramps. He began calling for help while fighting a losing battle with the cramps to stay afloat. Fortunately, a farm boy was working in a nearby field when he heard the frantic cries for help. He rescued the English boy and brought him to safety. The father of the boy, who had been rescued, was of course very grateful. The next day, he went to meet the youth who had saved his son's life. As the two talked, the Englishman asked the brave lad what he planned to do with his future. The boy answered, "I'll be a farmer like my father." The grateful father said, "Is there something else you'd rather do?" "Oh, yes," answered the Scottish lad. "I've always wanted to be a doctor, but we are poor and could never afford to pay for the education." "Never mind that," said the Englishman. "You shall have your heart's desire and study medicine. Make your plans and I'll take care of the costs." So the Scottish lad did indeed become a doctor. The legend of this fable says that years later, in December of 1943, Winston Churchill, the English boy, became deathly ill with pneumonia while in North Africa. His life was saved for a second time by the Scottish boy, Sir Alexander Fleming. This time with a new drug Fleming had invented, the first antibiotic, penicillin. 2 years later, under the unshakable leadership of Churchill, Britain and her allies would defeat Hitler and the Nazis, ending the most diabolical regime in history. You never know how far your holy moments will reach. Thank you for taking the time today. Hopefully you have a wonderful weekend, and God bless. Bye-bye.